What's your thoughts on government cover-ups or covert societies attempting to control humanity? Do you believe in ancient astronauts, intergalactic communication, or extraterrestrial visitations? Ever had an experience with disembodied spirits or the paranormal universe? Are these subjects fact or fiction? Each week, Tony and Eddie explore these unbelievable realities and beyond. Exclusively on Truth Be Told.
Welcome to Truth Be Told, where we believe an experience becomes truth. I'm your host, Tony Sweet, along with world-renowned psychic Eddie Connor.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to our very first Psychic Cafe featuring mediums, metaphysics, and margaritas. Today, you're going to learn some fun facts about your personal sun sign. Our psychic medium experts will give you 6 powerful tips that can absolutely improve the quality of your life. And at the end of the show, I'm sharing another easy tip to help you stop, block, and of course, pop those butt predictions right out of the ballpark in the categories of love, money, and career in our Unlock the Universe Within segment.
But first, a brief word from our sponsors.
Thank you for supporting our sponsor, Earth Friendly Products. Earth Friendly Products have brought families the greenest home solutions for over 40 years. Learn more about them at ecos.com. That's ecos.com.
And peruse over to adventuresunlimitedpress.com to purchase books from many of our experts featured here on Truth Be Told with Tony and Eddie.
Our first guest tonight is astrological consultant and healer Rachel Lang.
Rachel Lang is a professionally certified astrologer, medium, and Reiki master teacher with an international client base. She combines her technical knowledge of astrology with both intuitive and mediumship skills that uplift and empower her clients all over the world. Rachel hosts Blissin' Up here on UBN Radio, and she writes a monthly horoscope for the Live Box Office magazine.
Our second guest is spiritual advisor and wellness coach from Canada.
Welcome internationally acclaimed reader Lewis Mabee. A private reading with Lewis is like talking to a trusted friend. He has a gift of immediately putting you at ease while touching your heart and soul with his authentic insight. Lewis works on the soul level of spirit, meaning he has the ability to look into a person's soul vibration and read the fine print of what has happened in your past, present, and future. Lewis has a remarkable gift with helping his clients feel both healed and empowered.
Last but certainly not least, our third guest is intuitive tarot reader Ellen Dostal.
As an intuitive, Ellen uses the tarot to help her clients overcome obstacles and understand why they are getting what they are getting, especially when what they are getting is not what they want. Often called a psychic cheerleader, her conscious counseling helps people moving toward their goals until they actually reach them. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of the Psychic Cafe, as Truth Be Told shares mediums, metaphysics, and margaritas with world-famous Rachel Lang, Lewis Mabee, and of course, Ellen Dostal. Yay, Hercules!
Yay, Hercules, we're back. This is Truth Be Told with Tony and Eddie, and I'm Tony Sweet.
I'm Eddie Connor.
I'm Lewis Mabee.
Ellen Dostal.
Rachel Lang.
And John Williams.
John Williams is coming in. What we're talking about today is something that I am a big fan of. And Eddie, go ahead and tell us a little bit before we go to the chat room. Just tell us about what your creation of Psychic Cafe.
What?
Your inspiration.
Your inspiration of doing Psychic Cafe. You drank too much, didn't you?
It is that. Hold on.
Are they kicking in?
No, it is having conversations like this that I've never seen on television. I've never heard it on the radio. A lot of times, whenever you get, and you were talking about this one time, which I love. It literally, I did a radio show one time, and this person comes in and she's like, "Girl, let me tell you what's going to happen, and this is going to happen in Uranus and Pluto." Yeah, she was an astrologer too, and she was just like that. And the second we got on the air, she's like, "Hi." And then she talked like this through the whole thing. But in the break, she was ghetto. And then she came back, she'd be like, "I'm a very spiritual being of love and light." It was so contradicted. So what a lot of people, I feel like, see and hear on the radio and on television whenever you've got a room full of mediums, usually there's bucking for ego. And a lot of times it's people don't ever get to ask them the questions they want to ask. How is it being a psychic? How is it being a medium? How do you get through daily life? What does empathic mean? Oh, you mean you are just like everybody else? You have a bad day too, just because you help uplift everybody else. Mm-hmm. So the premise for this was to educate, to vibrate, and to perpetuate more education.
But you
Keeping
say
it real, basically.
Keeping it real.
But
Thank
you
you,
say
John.
education.
Education.
So I thought we'd go to the chat room before we go on to our next segment. And Sharita in the chat room, she wanted you to repeat what you said. You were talking, well, I know. But you were talking about Rachel and the colors, and then you mentioned red. Yeah. And she wants to know more about that.
What I was picking up around Rachel is she is transitioning into a different way of receiving the way she receives. And not that you needed confidence in it, but it's sort of a confidence amplifier of knowing that what you're already doing is so right on. And I was seeing 2 big new guides bookending her, literally flanking her to elevate her to that place. Lewis said, I see red. And anytime you see red around that or out of the corner of your eye, know that that is them flanking you. And then Rachel says, that's right, bitch, look at my blouse.
And with Sharita, that also resonates with you as well. So, but you will have 3 new ones coming around you. But this is
3 new guides.
3 new guides. But this is also part of your takeoff on your next level. So whatever funk you're in, give it a couple more weeks just before the Mercury retrograde kicks in. You'll be getting off the couch and getting things done and reworking and rewriting and revising everything. So listen up.
Yeah, and she's intuitive too. I think we can all tell she's intuitive.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I think she is. I think I saw her earlier on Twitter. But in fact, some of the questions actually have disappeared. So if you guys have questions and you're in the chat room, please sign in and ask questions. And throughout this next hour, I'll throw them out to our intuitive, wonderful peeps in here in the room. So anyway, Eddie.
Yes, sir.
Let's get segment 2 started.
Okay, so what we're doing is we're going to give you 6 powerful tips that can absolutely improve the quality of your life. And what we've done is ask our experts, what are some of the things that each of you do that enhances the quality of your life? So we'll start over here. Lewis first. Give us one thing that you do that absolutely makes your life better, and that even if you're kind of in a funky mood, it can lift you up and elevate you. What do you do?
The first thing I do is, even before I go to bed, is I set my intention. Today is going to be the best day ever. And then at the end, I'll jump and I'll go back. And at the end of the day, I say, today was a great day, but tomorrow will be even better. And so by doing that and repeating it and believing in it, I really don't have bad days. I have tense moments, but I get over it. I laugh it off and move on. But one of the things that I do, especially when I'm reading for clients, is that I burn incense. As soon as I go into the office, I burn incense, because that's going to help get rid of any of the unwanted energy or anything that's might have been crept over in the night. Because sometimes what happens, especially when I'm doing the mediumship, they get really anxious. The spirits get anxious that she's coming today. She's coming today. She's coming. I was like, just wait your turn. It's not 2:00 yet. And so by burning the incense, it helps create the atmosphere of peacefulness, calmness, and all that sort of thing. And then while I'm also doing the readings, I also love to have water flowing, because that helps get rid of energy, and it also helps flow with energy and all that sort of thing. So that's the 2 things I do every day.
So, and let's break down intention. So I like everything you're saying, but for someone new listening, I think everybody's pretty clear what intention is. I'm going to have a great day today, and then I'm going to have an even better day tomorrow and a greater experience the next day. What we're really talking about is you've already trained your brain to do it, and your feelings to follow it.
Yep.
And that is, you have to have the feelings to back up the intention in order to get the manifestation or the outcome that you really want. So how are some of the ways you beef up those feelings to match the intention of having a great day? What kind of feelings do you hold on to that keeps elevating your frequency?
It's the little moments and even the memories. Like, for example, one of the things that constantly pops in my head are my 3 nieces. Oh. And I still go over the day my oldest niece was born, because of course she's the eldest, and of course you have to be there. And I was with her 20 minutes after she was born, and it was 3:30 in the morning, and all the hallways were dark. And so I was able to carry her, and I walked down the hall with her, and I explained her entire life to her.
Wow.
And it was just that moment. And then moving forward with the other 2 births, it was the same thing. It was that. So you have to hang on to something that automatically, whether it's the best vacation you ever had, the favorite car you ever purchased, your favorite meal you ever made, make that a daily ritual within for your go-to. And I always tell clients, every day, if you're having struggles with getting through your day, pick throughout your day 3 things that just went well. Just focus on 3 things that went well. Give yourself a pat on the back and move on. And before you know it, 28 days makes a new habit. By the 10 to 28 days, you'll be doing it automatically, and you'll feel better, and your days won't be as long or hard to get through.
And as you're holding on to those 3 things and you make that a perpetual habit, and it changes your belief system. It also, as you're holding on to those 3 things that feel good, all of the other whiny, bitchy, sucky, moany, disconnected, negative stuff literally does vibrate away.
Tell us how you feel.
Yeah, well, it's like anything that makes you feel good from the inside out. As soon as you feel it, every bad thing in your frequency and in your environment literally dissipates, and it goes off to find the next person. And it's fascinating how it works. And so you're able to, so he can say the intention, I want to have a great day, but he's already got the momentum, to back it up. That's phenomenal to me. And so certain fragrances carry certain frequencies.
Right. So anything earthy like patchouli, pine, cedar, even some florals like a rose or a ginger, Hawaiian ginger, something like that, because it basically, you want to ground energies, because energies are all over the place, but you want to ground them, especially the unwanted ones. And so by getting an earthy scent, it's going to help pull it down and make it go away. You don't want it to keep flying in the air.
And I love that. And so you want the energies for you to be grounded, but you also want to ground them so that it's not like farting a whirlwind energy where you're getting energy from places, but you don't know where the hell it's coming from.
It's like you go into a new environment and all of a sudden you will step into the front door and you're like, ooh, I don't like this for some reason.
Yep.
Walk out. But if you have to be there, change it, change the energy. Either you have to amplify it because you're grounded, or you get sage or whatever and to help start the process. But it's definitely about making the intention there again, going back to intention, but living it and knowing that you are powerful enough to change the energies to make it more accommodating for yourself.
Well, let's go around the room really quick. And John, we'll start with you. Tell me one thing that when you think about it, you feel really good, you feel euphoric, you feel connected, you feel aligned, you feel happy.
The sun.
Good. How about you?
Another one.
Yeah.
You want another one other than the sun?
Your cat.
Oh, my cat, yeah, for sure.
Oh. What's your cat's name?
Kitza.
Kitza.
Kitza, like pizza with a K. No, it's Keetsa. Yeah. Yeah, she's my baby.
That's what James Van Prague does. He's like, it's James Van Prague, like frog. He really does do that. What's one thing that lifts you up, that makes you sparkle, that makes you light up from the inside out, Lewis?
I think just being able to do what I do. I really love what I do.
Yeah.
I really do. It's something that I just cherish every day.
I love that. Ellen?
For me, it's music.
Mm-hmm.
My happy playlist. That's that's something that I stumbled on because I've been job hunting. And I knew that was coming up. And I realized one day when I was sitting in front of my computer that I was listening to a video and I found myself, going like this. And the beat of the music was really good. And I went, you know what? I should make a happy playlist. And so I did. So don't judge me. They're all songs that are kind of silly. They just have a great beat.
Yeah.
I mean, Taylor Swift is on there,
Oh, which one?
Shake It Up.
Shake it up.
Or Shake It Off.
Shake it off.
You know?
Tay-Tay.
Avicii's Wake Me Up. Oh, you know which one I love? Maroon 5's video for Sugar. It's the weddings where they show up and the bride doesn't know and the curtain comes down and they're like, oh my God, it's Maroon 5! And they're playing at their wedding. Every time I watch it, it makes me smile the whole time.
Wow.
And so whenever I have, you're job hunting, so there's days you're like, okay, what am I looking at here? I just put that on because I like things that I don't have to think about. And that music kind of seeps in there and it does it for me without having to decide to feel happy. Because some days it's just harder to decide that. And everybody, the songs will be different. Your playlist would be different than mine, than yours. But we all have the ability to let music in there, especially because music has a vibration.
Yeah.
So even if you don't know, I mean, if you're not feeling well, if you're kind of on the blue side, I would really recommend probably not listening to the blues.
Right.
Or old school country music.
Right.
The Hellstorm music.
Right. You want to listen to something that lifts you up. And if you don't know what does, go to YouTube and just scroll through some things, because type in there happy songs or good music or dance music. Dance music.
Oh,
you could probably
child.
put on any dance music and feel better.
I go crazy.
Yeah. So for me, music is really important, and especially in those days when I need to feel better, but I can't get myself there on my own. So I like to trick myself like that.
Music transcends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
Any situation, really.
like espresso.
Yeah.
It can calm you down. It can lift you up.
I like that. And your intention is there to get lifted up and to feel good. And if you don't think you can fully get there on your own, you just use a little amplifier that really shoots you up into the stratosphere.
Because it doesn't matter how you got there. It just matters that you vibrated, even for just a little while. I mean, I so believe that makes things happen quicker for us, because you see people all the time that get the things they want or don't get the things that they want. And you think, why are they, Why am I not? They have found a way not to be in their own way. They inside just feel good, or they don't care. They're not sabotaging themselves. We can do that too.
Absolutely.
So I'll go around the room in no particular order, and I'll go first. What is a song that when you hear it, you just can't not feel good and act crazy like a lip sync drag queen? So I've got two. One is Phyllis Hyman, and it's Riding the Tiger. Have you heard it?
I'm not that old.
Oh!
I'm sorry.
Did I hear you wrong?
I feel like a Capricorn moon coming out. Riding the Tiger, Phyllis Hyman, and In Vogue's Free Your Mind.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
that's a good
song.
one.
I love that song.
That's
I
a great
can't
song.
not
Yeah.
do my lip sync challenge with my only self in the room. What's one of yours?
Actually, one of my favorite singers is from Australia, Guy Sebastian, and it's called "Don't Worry, Be Happy." It
Oh, I like the
is
title.
amazing. Yeah, it's amazing.
Is
Puts you
that
in
the
a good
same one
mood.
that Bobby Varon did?
No, it's a whole different
Totally
song.
different.
He
Oh, wow.
wrote it, and it just talks about how like even in he's talking about L.A. He lives there, but he's talking about L.A. driving. It's like, just don't worry about it. Just be happy.
It's so funny though, ladies, gentlemen,
Yes.
John.
What am I, a hybrid?
An
So
angel.
Yes, that's right.
Gentlemen.
That's
An
fine.
earth angel. So whenever he's talking about that song,
Yeah.
which is the strongest, Guy Sebastian or the song?
Oh, I think it's a little of both, but I think it's
I have a
more
little crush.
Guy. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What's your song?
But the lyric value, though, it is. I like that song. It's powerful. My song, well, it's keeping with the sunshine theme, "Walking on Sunshine." How
That's
can
a
you
good
not?
one. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true.
That's
I
a
don't
really
like
good
it.
one.
No, I was kidding.
Guy Sebastian
playlist.
singing.
Is it really?
What'd you say?
Katrina and the Waves. It's
Yeah.
on my playlist.
Oh,
And
those
it
are
came
great.
from my brother Jack, because on Facebook one night I said to my friends, hey, I'm putting together a happy playlist. Anybody have any suggestions? And I got some great ones that I never would have found. Top one right now, Kelly Clarkson. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
That is a good one.
How
That's
about
a
you,
good one.
Lewis?
There's two. A current or more current one is "Bang Bang" by Jessie J.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
that.
wow. That whole album.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. And then an older one is by Scandal, "The Warrior."
Oh yeah, I can remember Patty
Shooting at
Smythe.
yeah,
Oh,
And-
Patty's mine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I can see the video to this day. She had the
the whole
makeup
80s
all
yeah.
across and that hair going back,
But
and she had a fierce voice.
She did. Well, she does.
Yeah.
But whenever that comes on retro, it's crank it up.
See, this is what's so interesting. The vibration in here just really
Went
went
up.
high.
Yeah.
Talking
We started
about
talking about
music,
songs.
you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
because everybody has songs they love.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
and I'm so glad you said that, because it's a perfect example for the listeners. Just having a simple conversation, or even thinking it without conversating with certain people, you can feel that energy starting to amplify. So you want to share one more that's on your list?
Let's see, what else do I like? I like. This is a little obscure. The Babysitter's Circus is the name of the group.
Yeah.
And the song is "Everything's Gonna Be All Right." And that came from my cousin in Wisconsin, who I rarely get to talk to. and it was totally out of the blue. And I looked up; it's a great song.
Oh, that's so great.
So do you think it's lyric value too?
Sometimes.
Yeah, so it's like an affirmation.
Yes, sometimes it's lyric and music. Sometimes, literally
Just
for me,
music.
it's just the beat.
Yeah, me
but
too.
if it has icky lyrics and it has a good beat, no.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why I don't understand sometimes when they take a awful song that's
I
a
know.
slow dance song like All By Myself and they put it as a dance song. And like Celine Dion's All By Myself gets
Don't talk
remixed
about
into
her.
a dance song. Or Unbreak My Heart, which is a huge dance.
Which she hated, by the way.
Oh.
Toni Braxton hated that song. She's like, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I hate it.
And she
I
played it
don't
on the
get
Grammys,
it.
didn't she?
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
And they made her put it on the album, and it was her biggest hit on that album.
Wow, isn't that
Wow.
crazy?
Yeah,
But-
she didn't have to get it.
But that's interesting though, because you're taking the beat and contradicting what the lyric is saying, right?
Yeah.
Right. It's
Yeah.
almost like like they're mutually
Yeah.
exclusive. They clash. There's
Right.
a clash.
What duality at play,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, totally.
On those, you have to listen to the song, but you kind of have to like not listen to the lyric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just feel the music.
It's fluff.
Yeah.
What about you, Rachel?
Okay, so I actually have two that mine change. They go back and forth. But my go-to is Edge of Glory by Lady Gaga.
Yeah, great song.
I love that song. And then also I'm kind of a Broadway show tunes geek. I'm kind of I probably should have been a gay man. And any Broadway show, like, but Godspell's my go-to. I
Yeah.
do that whenever I
I love it.
That's fascinating.
It's embarrassing. I
I'm a
just
gay man. I am
revealed
terrible.
myself.
I can't tell you any show tunes.
No?
Oh my God,
Oh.
we could go
Andy.
through them for days. Yes.
What's wrong with
Yeah,
you?
I don't know. You're a bad one too when it comes to musicals.
Yeah. Well, I know some. Wicked, I did like.
Everybody knows
Dance with Your
Wicked.
Life.
Yeah.
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 That's a good one.
That's the song from Wicked that has got a great beat.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how many of you have heard Frozen Till You're Gonna Die?
Yeah. That's actually Let It Go. It's my when I have to let it go, I
But that
let
is
it
a
go.
great song, though, right? I mean,
Yeah.
for an affirmation,
Yeah.
let it go, let it
Yeah.
go, just let it go.
That one song, I was sitting with our friend Jamie. We were sitting outside. Of course, we're having cake at the Romancing the Bean Cafe over on Magnolia in Burbank. And we're talking about some relationship things. She was talking about it. And so here comes this kid with her dad carrying the Frozen doll. And as she's walking by, literally the song is playing. She pressed a button and the doll's like, let it go. Let it go. I'm like, there's your answer.
That is so funny.
Rachel, tell me one of your techniques that keeps you grounded and summoning life force energy that will help the audience.
Sure. So I actually meditation and journaling are my two go-to every single day. And if I don't meditate every single day, or if I don't at least journal a bullet list every day, then I feel out of balance. So those are really the two. And for meditation, it's, there are different techniques. You can go through a guided meditation. You could do a visualization of something that you're trying, that you like, that makes you happy, like go to a happy place in your mind. I like to use mantras. I love, I grew up Catholic, so I'm, a rosary person. And so Om Shanti Om is like, I could sit there and do that for 30 minutes. And then
that a
I'm like,
rap?
I'm so happy.
Sounds like a rap.
It can be.
Yeah.
It can be. It totally can.
Go on that. If people can't sit down and meditate, do active meditation.
Totally.
My mom cannot sit down and just relax. So what she used to do when she had a rose garden, she would go out to her rose garden and she'd pick all the things off and prune it and preen it and whatever. And before she knew it, it was like a couple hours went by and it was like a total refresh.
Yeah.
So don't get freaked out if you can't meditate or you fall asleep. Go for a walk. Just don't think.
Actually, that's a great point. A lot of some Buddhist some groups of Buddhist monks, actually, they start their meditation practice by raking or by sweeping or by walking. And so there are so many types of ways to meditate. But the key to meditation is that you clear your thoughts, because we were talking about manifestation, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about the things that we want. Well, the longer we keep those things that we want in a space of want, and we think about them, then we kind of like hold them in lockdown.
That's right.
And so what meditation does is it allows you to
let it go.
And so that, and so especially if you're like really trying to make something happen or trying to manifest something in your life, like finding ways to shift out of your thinking is really important. So
I find doing the dishes or showering is a good way of meditating too.
It really
Showering is a good thing. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The Archangel Gabriel rules water, and he's the messenger. The messenger angel, and connected to creativity.
That's where the inspiration comes from. A lot of times in the shower, you come
And
with ideas.
that's the only time, 9 minutes of my day, that no one can talk to me.
Good point.
That's the only time in my day that they have no access. And that's when I organize my thoughts, just my private
in the
thoughts.
shower or
in the shower.
Okay.
They, meaning people or
Spirit.
entities either?
Spirit. That's the only time that they're not allowed to communicate.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Do you ever have that moment or something you do, Eddie, that your spirits that don't talk to you? I mean, is it shower, bath?
No, but if the yeah, I'm one of those people that have to turn it on.
Oh, okay.
Some people don't. Some people it's always on.
That's
But
me.
I choose to turn it on, and then sometimes it does come on by itself. But truly, I turn it on. So not too much. A lot in my all the way up until I was about 25. And then I was like, oh, hell no. And then I was like,
boundaries.
no, yeah, because like one time I was in the shower and I was going through this period where, I'm learning so much. And, I want to see my spirit guides and my angels. And I'm like, washy in the shower. Turn around.
There she is.
There's,
Hello.
a Native American standing in my shower. And I'm like, ah! So I learned the hard way. That's just me, though. Yeah, it wasn't pretty, child.
I want to see a psychic in a sensory deprivation chamber and see what happens. Could you imagine?
Well, that anybody in that environment, you're going to be in an alternate state, and you're going to. Yeah.
I couldn't handle it. I don't think I could handle it.
Well, it's like a coffin with water in it. Give me a straw and lock my ass up. I'm not going to do that. So, Ellen, the last of our 6 tips we have is you have a technique where you're literally tuning into your body's warning signs.
Well, this is a little bit along with what Lewis was talking about. I check in with my body's warning signs, which means if I'm trying to think about doing something and I don't know what to do or what decision to make, we make it so hard on ourselves when all we really need to do is check in with the pit of your stomach and see how it feels. And if it doesn't feel good, probably shouldn't do it. If you get nothing, you might want to wait a little bit, but you could still go ahead unless you get a warning sign. It's like you'll get information from so many different people in your life. You know, you say something and somebody will give you a look on their face and all of a sudden you're like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't have said that, or maybe I shouldn't do that, or maybe I shouldn't want that because somebody expresses a desire for a dream and somebody says, ooh, really? That's going to be so hard. Now all of a sudden that lives in your consciousness. If you can filter that out and check in with yourself and see how it feels, that's really the only voice you can rely on completely. Because then when you get contrary information, but it feels right, you can act on it and it works every single time. And so if you want to develop that for people that are listening, you just have to start trying it. And, you know, we also talked about being empathic or what empathy is. If you're the kind of person that's listening and you can walk into a room and all of a sudden you know what's going on, or you feel like, oh, that person over there is not in a good mood, or something's happening over here, you're empathic.
That's right.
To whatever level you develop it. That's something that you don't always treat as important or valid. It's huge.
It's the hugest.
It is, and it's the ability that everybody has. We just use it differently. So if you can allow yourself to practice that a little more, I think that people can find an easier path to getting what they want when they don't have another place to go for guidance. Because really the best guidance, you know, not even us, is yourself. You know, listening to yourself. Because only you know yourself from the inside out.
And accepting the answer.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Because sometimes it's not the easy answer.
Right? Because there's a difference between scary bad and scary good.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Scary good is you're going to move from North Carolina to LA. Scary bad is, well, how?
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Or scary bad is don't walk around that dark alley.
Oh, yeah.
Scary good is I'm not sure about this, but I feel kind of excited and scared. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think we're not supposed to focus on the how, though, right? It's spirit led. Do you
It is,
believe
well,
that?
everything is spirit led,
Yeah.
but I think, but I also know that when we're in a human form, that humans have hows they don't know they have.
Yeah.
Then they have hows that they know they have.
Yeah.
And so we're constantly thinking a thought or feeling a feeling that's going to take us down whatever road we're vibrating. And unfortunately, more people vibrate how, when, where,
Exactly.
who than they vibrate beingness.
Yes. Yeah.
That's why I always ask everybody before I close my eyes and start a reading. I ask them, what is your intention with this reading? Meaning, what do you want to feel when you walk out of this door, or when you when we're off this call? What feeling do you want in your heart, mind, and in your gut brain? And it inevitably always comes back down to the essence of peace of mind, clarity, and direction.
Sure.
At first they think they want answers. They think they want to be told what to do.
Yeah.
I don't tell people what to do.
No.
And because I don't think they tell us what to do. And long story short, it's just like, because of the way we're wired to think, till you elevate your consciousness and get to the end results, like the intentions and everything we're doing, you hold that feeling without knowing how you're going to get there, or if you're going to get there. If you're holding the feeling, you're going to get there.
Right.
It's never usually ever the way we think it's supposed to be. Hardly ever.
Bingo.
Exactly.
And we should focus more on the how do instead of the how can't.
That's well stated.
Yeah, because it's usually what shuts you down is the how. It's like, well, how's that going to happen? Well, that's when you got to trust, right?
Yeah, faith. And if you're just tuning in, you're listening to On Air with Tony Sweet, and our show today is the Psychic Cafe, and we're talking about metaphysics with mediums and having some margaritas. I'm Eddie Connor.
I'm Tony Sweet.
I'm Lewis Smith.
Go ahead, Lewis.
I'm Lewis.
I'm John Williams.
Ellen Dostal.
Rachel Lang.
And what we just did was we just gave you 6 tips that each of us actually use. Yes, there's more than,
Oh no, I'm just.
He's raising his hand. Tony's raising his hand. Everyone's wondering
Whenever
what we
you're
stopped.
finished there, I have a question in the chat room, so I'm just.
Oh.
I was just getting your attention.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you were doing a pageant wave. I felt important, but now I don't think. So, Lewis, you shared intention, and then you explained the purpose and the frequency of the incense when you burn it. Ellen, you were talking about your happy list of songs, and you could really feel the energy elevate in the room when you were doing that. And you also were talking about checking in with your body's warning signs. And then, Rachel, you were sharing about meditation, and I like how you were talking about that, and you jumped in with do the act of meditation if you can't sit still, as it were, and the importance of emptying the mind. So you're opening that, because when you clean your closet out and you get rid of stuff, what happens?
Stuff comes in.
Stuff comes in, and you want the new
Exactly.
stuff, and that's
Totally.
what that is doing, I'm
Right.
assuming. And then the journaling.
Yeah, and there's one more too that I
Yes.
forgot to mention that's really, really important for me. And that is, I noticed when I first started my practice, I had a lot of ups and downs, as many people do when they first start. Like, how am I going to pay my bills? And what am I doing with my life? My parents hate this. And I realized that, like, in those darkest times, my client list would just be like unbelievable. And I would be like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And then I realized that Spirit was giving me the opportunity to give back as a way of filling myself back up. And so actually when I'm feeling down or I'm feeling disconnected, I look for ways I can help other people. I can either donate to charity, or I can give a free reading, or and I'm not advocating that you compromise your own well-being, but giving back fills you up. That there's like it's like the rule of 3. For everything that you do, that energy comes back threefold. And so giving back is another one of my go-to,
I like that, because if
techniques.
you're focused on helping somebody else, you're not focused on your own problem.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like
Perfect.
Yeah, and there are neurological effects that happen. Like it triggers your pleasure centers in your brain to do nice things for people. Actually, like it increases dopamine even more than things like drugs or all the other
Artificial.
yeah. Oh, totally.
Wow, whoever thought that giving back would help a dwarf? Dopamine.
There you go. Well, there's an old adage that says there's no problem you can't give yourself out of. Give yourself,
Oh,
not
that's
get yourself.
nice.
Give yourself.
I've
yourself.
never heard that, but
Yeah,
I
I never
like
heard
it.
that
Yeah.
either. Yeah.
And it's giving with a pure heart. That's the thing.
Totally.
I know some people that will go and just hand homeless people 20s and 100s. And going, okay, where's my shit? It does not
Yeah.
work that way.
Yeah.
You have to come from
Yeah,
Exactly.
it is. It's all intention.
No, but I guarantee you, if you leave the extra $20 bill for your waitress, that was probably the right waitress who needed it.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when you're inspired for
Always.
something like
Always.
that, that's probably the waitress that was short of cash.
Are we all big tippers in here?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Big tipper.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Did you wait tables?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you?
No, I
No.
didn't, but
No.
I think they need it more than I do most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah. And no, I think everybody should wait tables.
Yes.
I think everybody should be a flight attendant for 1 year and then get out of that and work Christmas Rush for 2 seasons in a row as a
done
sales
that.
clerk.
I've
Yeah,
done that.
I think they should. Then I think they would understand a little bit more.
Especially if they're an empath.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's right. Kinesthetic shopping.
And I was like that. So Annie in the chat room said, "Hi, y'all. Loving the show as usual. Just wondering, is there a common piece of advice or even a comment that you find yourself noticing or mentioning to various clients over and over that almost applies to everyone, but most people don't naturally see it in themselves?"
Get out of your own way.
Yeah, you know, I used to work with a business partner, and she was really phenomenal at breathing, coaching breathing, reminding herself to breathe, reminding me to breathe, the trees to breathe, but it was something I wasn't doing, and I would hear that over and over and over, and then there were certain people who I found in readings I was saying it to, and I was like, oh my God, I'm telling them to do the same thing. But yeah, for me, that one, the breathing is a universal thing that truly 90% of the people do not do.
Or shallow breaths, right?
Yeah, or breathe backwards. I found out I breathed backwards because I was always trying to hold my stomach in. And so whenever I take deep breaths, it would all be Chesty, which was my street name. Chesty, the itchy stripper.
The itchy
Yeah, so
stripper.
breathing, just some of the basics.
Yeah. Well, for me, actually, the one that I always, when I sit with anyone, the first thing I come in contact with is how many people on the other side love them.
Yeah, that's true.
And so every time I'm in a session, I don't know about you guys, but I feel the love. I feel so much love that sometimes I can't help but smile. And I think we all forget, because we're here in this dense reality, we all forget that, or we feel sometimes that we're alone, or we feel like we can't access the people that we love who are on the other side, or our spirit guides or anything like that. But we are all connected, and we are all loved and supported in ways seen and unseen. And so that's the message that's the message I could give anyone universally.
That's well stated.
awesome.
Great.
Yeah, that's
For
a good
me,
question.
it's remember that what you focus on gets bigger.
Oh,
Whatever it is, if you're going to worry, you're going to have more things to worry about.
right.
So be careful of what you're focusing on. And if you catch yourself having a hard time, just think about something else.
Yep.
You know, think about your nieces, like you
It's
said.
elastic.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is, because what we focus on has energy. There's a vibration to that, and that's going to amplify. So amplify good stuff.
I want to ask you all a question, because with social media now, you know, people not only verbally, but they type it on their Twitter, there's Facebook, and you've noticed some people, pretty much every post is a negative statement. Like, my life, I can't take any more bad news. Oh my God, my life sucks. I mean, because I remember you said that, I think, Eddie, you said that if you write
it down, it's 10 times more powerful than if you don't write it.
And for the same for social media. So give us some of these people advice out there that may be listening that do this. They don't realize what they're doing to themselves.
Wow, this is complicated, though. It's going to take a long time, so let's do it in one sentence. Stop.
Not my circus, not my monkeys.
I love that. That's on my Facebook wall right now. I love you.
That's good.
Just
Yeah.
because you're invited to the fight doesn't mean you need to show up.
That's right.
And you have to learn to just say thank you, but no thank you.
Yeah.
Learn the word no. If you invite it in, it's going to come into you. It's going to sit right beside you, and it's going to morph on top of you, and then you're going to just project it back out.
And we're also entering election season too.
Oh my God,
And
it's been a
so
lot of
and
negative.
so we really want to help. I mean, I think if we can start in this room, you know, a movement that ripples out, only positive only positive things, because who needs fighting on social media? Who needs negativity? Our candidates don't need it. They need our support.
That's right.
They're leading our country.
And I remember, you know, even the last election, I had a first cousin. I had mentioned something about the election. I mean, it wasn't a negative statement, and he seriously was so negative and hateful about the candidate. And I thought, well, I mean, and then he's like, I didn't question you about your being gay, and I'm like, where did that come from? I'm like, yeah. And so I agree with you. The political season is upon us. And the negative is going to just keep getting more and more. And I think we should try our best to keep that positive.
What I do on Facebook, if you don't want to unfriend somebody because you don't want to hurt their feelings and you actually like them as people, but you don't want to see their stuff, just unfollow them.
Right.
Because when you
True.
friend somebody, it automatically follows them. So I have a lot of people that I've just unfollowed. So they're in there if I want to contact them, and I can always follow them again. They're still my friends, but I don't have to look at the content I don't want to see.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's well stated. You know what I just heard when we're having this conversation? First of all, that would be a great show to do going into the election season, new ways to help people get to the core essence of the truth, regardless of who you're voting for. That 90% of the people who do what your cousin did, they're only hearing and regurgitating what they heard with nothing to back it up.
Sound bites.
Yeah, they're only hearing what this person said, and then they constantly regurgitate
Producing
it.
an echo.
Yes, they're producing the echo. They're reacting to a reaction, and then if somebody else does it, then they react bigger and bigger and bigger
Right.
until they can persuade you. And that's 90% of every human in an election process. When less than 10% of us, we go deep. I always say I don't vote Democrat and I don't vote Republican. I vote for the candidate with the purest frequency across the board in every area of their life.
Also, remember that on Facebook, people are there to talk. They're not there to listen.
Right.
So if you don't want to listen to it, try and be on it a little less, which I know it's easy to say,
Yeah,
but just don't engage because they don't really want to hear what you have to say. If it's one of those very high emotional conversations, they just want to talk. They want to put their stuff out there and talk. They're not interested in you trying to change their mind. Because if they were, they'd call you on the phone and have a conversation with you.
Yeah,
And then
they
you
would
can-
actually connect.
Right.
Right.
And you can also send those people love. Anyone out there can just send anyone love, just the intentional love, and hopefully that will just make a difference down the road someplace in their life.
Oh, it makes a difference. We should do like a 6-minute guided meditation just on sending light and love to the planet at some point, and just back it up with a little bit of music and just hold the space in this room and just send
Good
it out.
idea.
Yeah.
Especially the closer we get to some of the more convoluted and
totally.
contrasting things that are coming up.
You know what, that's interesting though, since we have an astrologer on here with political people and their charts, I bet you can probably see in an astrological chart who's going to win.
Yeah, it's interesting. You usually can, but some of the influences, like for example, when Hillary Clinton first was up against Obama in the first election, her chart was amazing, and a lot of us thought she's got it. And what happened was all of those positive influences that we saw in her chart transferred over to her becoming the Secretary of State. So it varies, and there's some that you look at and you're like, oh, this is going to be just a nightmare. John Edwards was one of those. You looked at his chart and you're like, oh no, please just don't run.
No.
Yeah, I mean, he had like so many oppositions, and I was like, oh, that was scandal all over
All over the
Yeah,
place,
all
yeah.
over the
And
place.
if he is going to run, do it with scissors.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Serious.
That's good. You got.
Facing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so good. That's so good.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. And remember whenever Gore won?
Yes.
But-
Okay,
Mercury
but Jen
retrograde.
won.
Actually,
wasn't
it's stationed retrograde on election day.
Oh my God, really?
And so, and actually, that happened when Obama won against Mitt Romney.
Yes.
That exact day it stationed retrograde,
Wow.
and we thought, like a lot of us thought, we're like, oh, it's going to be the same thing. We're going to have craziness, and but yeah, that's what happened. And there is a technique that I've used, and it's like 98% accurate for determining if it's going to be a Republican or Democratic candidate. In the lead, and so as we get closer to the to the election,
show.
I'm gonna I'll talk about. I'm gonna do a whole show dedicated to that.
That's awesome.
Just as,
I
Well,
can't wait to
and
see
you know
that.
something really quick? This fascinates me. How many people have asked you guys who's going to win the fight, Mayweather or Pacquiao? Yeah, see? And I'm like, that's not my thing.
Yeah.
Me
That-
neither.
that-
Yeah,
how's
yeah,
how's
no.
that going to affect your life? Well, I got a lot of money on it. It's going to affect me. But I wonder if you could do a chart. I'm not saying asking you to. If you could do a chart with this person and this person in the date that the fight is and the location it is.
Totally.
And see who's
Yeah.
got the.
You can do that. You can actually even do it for the Super Bowl. Look at the quarterbacks. I'm not a sports person at all.
Me
I'm
either,
like,
but
who are
quarterback's the
those
right
people?
Jim Tebow? I don't know.
Uniforms.
The big guys with
With the
muscles.
Oh, with the muscular balls.
So the bettors out there, good time to see your astrologers right before the big game.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah, yeah,
Call Rachel Lang.
And listen up. Wow. No, I love that. I love that. Man, this has been fun, y'all.
This has been a great,
It's been really
great,
great.
great time.
So I learned a lot of stuff today. I learned a lot of stuff from everybody, actually.
Good practices to put into your life.
Yeah,
It is, isn't
definitely.
it? So laid back.
Definitely.
I feel good. We need to do more margaritas. We need to have wine coolers, wussies, and what goes with that, wiener dogs.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Spirits with spirits.
Yeah.
Oh, there you
That's a
go.
good one, John.
There you go.
John's so creative. He just sneaks in. He's like, I got something. It's pretty brilliant, but I'm not gonna play it up.
That is fun, man. So, what do you think? When do you think we should do this again? Thursday.
Okay. There we go.
Joking.
Thursday.
When do you want to do it, Eddie?
I don't know. I think it feels good to do it about every month or so to me. And I like having different people. I know we all do the same thing essentially, but none of us do it the same way.
Right.
And none of us have the same perspective. And we're all coming from the right place. And then create different topics underneath the Psychic Cafe, whatever that would be. Like, especially this thing going into the election.
Yeah.
Especially a whole show just around aspects of meditation and then proactive.
You should also ask your listeners for suggestions, what
Yeah.
they'd like to hear in a Cosmic Cafe.
Yeah.
You
There
know,
you go.
what
Like
kind
a
of
money
topic.
love episode, half of it's money, half of it's
Intention
love.
episodes. Love
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
What?
yeah.
Intention
I'll take
episodes.
both
Yeah,
money
yeah.
and love. I'll
Well,
take
that's what everyone wants to know about. I'm like, what inspired you to have a reading? Well, I want to know about my career and money and love life.
Yeah.
Yeah, love, money, career.
Yeah.
Those are the three big butts, I always say.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds great, and you guys better not go anywhere because we're going to do Unlock the Universe, aren't
Yep.
we? Good. So you want to get that started?
Sure.
All right. So we're going to start Unlock the Universe Within with Eddie Connor. Yeah. Oh, and the crowd goes wild.
So, welcome back to another episode of Unlock the Universe Within. I'm Eddie Connor.
I'm Tony Sweet.
John Williams.
Lewis, maybe.
Ellen Dostal.
Rachel Lang.
And I'm Eddie Connor. And what we're doing today in Unlock the Universe Within is I want to introduce you to Ollie, the asphalt fairy. And I want to talk about how we accidentally self-sabotage ourselves a lot. Now, and I came up with the big butt syndrome a long time ago because as a reader, and I know you guys have all heard this, I really want a relationship, but
And they're all jerks.
yes, I really want more money.
But
I really want a better job.
Big butt.
Big butt. And then what ended up happening was I realized it was the love butt, the money butt, the career butt. And it just organically came through with my spirit guides and angels.
What if they say I want a Kardashian butt?
Then that's a totally different, that's a totally different thing.
Lord, that was
Yes.
not me.
John.
It's like goes back to big asphalt too. So it's like the asphalt fairy. Asphalt is an acronym for accidental self-sabotage, and we do that a lot by default. And one of the quickest ways and the easiest ways we do it is through double speaking. We talk about what we do want and don't want in the same breath, or we talk about what we do want while, and we might be saying what we do want, and we may be very brilliant at articulating what we do want, but we forget that our words literally only create 0.01% of our reality. So you can be saying all the right words and you can be journaling all of the right things about love, but if you're journaling and speaking it and feeling the lack of it and the sadness that you don't have it, then what you're attracting to you is more lack
Yeah.
of love, more lack of money, and more lack of being in the kind of career you want. So I want to talk just a second about an expectation. We were speaking about that earlier. And in the meanwhile, I'll be passing you out some Ollie the Asphalt Fairy butt bracelets. Okay.
This is so great.
So we were talking about expectations. An expectation in our psychic world, and we have a room full of psychics and mediums, an expectation, when you hold it, you immediately feel a feeling. And the feeling of an expectation activates a vibration. So what is a vibration to you guys? When you think of a vibration, what is a vibration?
It's a frequency. It's an energy.
Frequency and energy. So an expectation is a vibration that you feel in your solar plexus megaphone, I call it. And that vibration attracts a manifestation. An expectation, say it with me, is a vibration that brings a manifestation. Where attention goes, energy flows, as Dr. Reverend Michael Beckwith would say. Well, he says it a lot. And so one of the things that's in our little Ollie the Asphalt Fairy is a rubber band. And so here's the little poem on the back of it. It says, Ollie the Asphalt Fairy, Ollie is an ass and a fun fairy too. He can stop your sabotage before you get screwed. With Ollie the ass, your butt he'll delete. So speak only of good and never double speak.
I love this.
And sometimes, you were talking about psychology earlier, and isn't it fascinating how we all love psychology? And I mean, it's one of those things. I wanted to be a Dr. Shirley when I grew up. I really did. So there's a rubber band, and you simply put it on your wrist, and you start paying attention to when you are accidentally self-sabotaging. So if you're talking about love and you're feeling the lack of it, just gently pop the bracelet. Gently. Yeah.
Lovingly.
It's not like my grandma, you Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, talking at times. Yeah.
I'm trying to quit
It's not like
smoking.
the more gentle you are in it and acknowledging it, and the more gentle you are in snapping it, the quicker you can turn the old negative butt beliefs into a high frequency feel-good belief. And, we all talk about frequencies and energy and vibration, and there's only two, for me personally, in the entire universe, and it's either a high frequency, which always comes back to love, which comes back to light, which comes back to rich and wealth and opulence, and a low frequency is always poverty, negative, something that doesn't feel good. And so if we're double speaking what we do want and don't want at the same time, we're going to constantly stay stuck in the rut of the big butt syndrome. So the Asphalt Fairy, and the reason he's cute like that is because he's a gentle reminder not to be flying ass backwards in your thoughts, not to be wearing your lucky horseshoes and still be going ass backwards with your fairy rings. And where's he looking? Is he looking ahead or behind?
Behind.
He's looking at his past. Have you ever driven down the 405 in reverse trying to get to where you want to go?
Just once. I'm just kidding.
How'd that work for you?
Not very well.
So an expectation is a vibration that always brings a manifestation. And the best way to keep your thoughts, feelings, and frequencies high, fast, and pure and eliminate asphalt disease and the butt fairies in general, or your big butts as it were, is do butt-free activities. And one of them is listening to the show, intention, burning incense, your happy playlist, meditation, journaling, and staying really attuned to your body. Going out, I think you said your mother goes into the rose garden, going for walks in nature, watching the sun come through the trees. There's millions of things that we forget to feel good about. And as you harmonize with those things, you elevate your vibration so pure that you become the very light that's coming through the trees. You become the very songs that you're listening to. You literally merge with the consciousness of the rose bush and the grass and the gardens. And as you do that, as you said earlier, you're in that space, you're creating a nice space so that good stuff can come to you instead of getting held up down the pipe. And that's accidental self-sabotage with Ollie the Asphalt Fairy, and that's your Unlock the Universe Within segment.
Yay, Eddie! Well, it is. It's time that we go, but like I said, we want to go around the room and let everybody kind of introduce their websites and social media. So, Lewis, let's start with you. Where can people find you?
It's lewismabee.com. That's LEWISMABEE.com.
For me, you can get me on my cell phone, which I think you have on the screen there.
I do.
Yes. And happy to talk to you.
Perfect.
And you can find me at Rachel, the letter C, Lang, RACHELC, Lang.com or blissenup.com.
That's cool. And I'm at eddieconnor.com. That's CONNER, because my mama raised an not an or. And I am on Facebook and Twitter at Soul Intuitive.
Yes.
Is that what I am?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's funny. I have to tell him all the time.
I know. I used to think it was Eddie Connor, Soul Intuitive, but no, I was wrong.
And in 2 weeks, Chris Williams is back. You might know her from Ghost Hunters.
Oh, yeah.
She's coming back, but we're going to be focusing more on the ancestry work because, she's a contributor with Ancestry.com, and we're going to be giving away to a lucky person to research to help you find your ancestry. So her and I are going to help you guys find, but you have to tune in. You have to tune in to win. All right, on the way out, I'm going to play my song that I really, really like by Guy Sebastian. Don't worry, be happy.
Woohoo!
Yes. All right, we'll take care. And this is Tony Sweet.
Eddie Connor.
John Williams.
Lewis, maybe.
Ellen Dostal.
Rachel Lang.
With Truth Be Told, right here on Universal Broadcasting. Take care.